So I have a loop up here for you, and I'm just going to let the loop play for the duration of me yapping. And it's for two reasons. One, I believe in receipts. I am a visual person. So if you have said you have achieved something, show me. I'm likely to believe you. If you said that I heard or they said or back in my day and I have no proof, we still will be cool, but I don't know if I'm going to believe you because I'm a visual person. Two, I left the loop up here. That way you ain't got to look at me with my shirt off. You can just look at the loop of older versions of me with my shirt off. See, I'm looking out for people, man. I'm a team player. But setting credentials and my garage gym and physique aside, I'll never claim to be an expert because you can always learn about yourself, especially in this area. I figured that out years ago. There's certain things that you can do to tweak your physique, which will tweak your mindset and stuff like that. Now, I wasn't like bigger or fat or whoever is offended by the word of calorie surplus, which results in a bigger body. I wasn't fat for long. And on the loop, you can see that. It was a point in time in my life to where I had gained all that weight, and it was on me. Now, during that time, I didn't take responsibility and accountability for it. Of course I didn't. Absolutely not. It was everybody else's fault. It was the fact that when I got to Virginia, I broke my right hand, wasn't working out as much, wasn't happy with the command. I got into this toxic relationship, stuff that happens to most people in life. And like some people do, I just started coping differently. I knew that, but I wasn't mature enough to take accountability for it. Wasn't my fault. That's why I used to tell myself. And then it'll be people sometimes that'll be like, man, I've been fat all my life. You don't know how it is. You're right. I don't. But I will, urge people to, you got to go back and you got to, associate that with who was in your life at that time. Because if you was around us, you would have been getting them steps in. It wasn't like we was just out here marching when I was a teenager, but where we grew up, Long Beach, Compton, stuff like that, we used to go to Lakewood Mall, right? Slauson. We used to go to all these spots and we just getting our steps in. And this is before we had cars. So we would hop on the RTD, the Metro Rail. We walking around the mall getting numbers. This was 10K steps before it was even popping. Before that, we used to always hoop, play basketball and stuff like that. And if you know anything about like Long Beach, Los Altos, Lakewood, Cerritos, I had a bike and I would leave 4th and Cherry, our apartment, and ride my bike to my buddy house in Los Altos. That's a long ride. And then we would play basketball. And I would either stay at his house and then I would start adulting like, damn, I got to ride this bike all the way back. Or, the next morning I would just get up and ride my bike home. That's a lot of cardio before cardio became known as cardio. So no, you probably wouldn't have because you would have been more active. That's something that's instilled in you as a youngster. But until like now, what we see on social media, and we can point the finger, unfortunately, you didn't know what it was. There was no way to associate it. I know what that is now, having a child. I got everything here. My son is 14 and he will not realize until he gets older what's going on. He will not realize that when he gets older, and depending on what his life pans out to be, he's going to be like, damn, my dad had a whole gym. He was in shape kind of now that I'm thinking about it. My dad had this going on. Because of what I hear, because of people say, man, I've been big all my life and you don't know what it's like. I have to change that with my son. That's how you change the world. It's not by trying to convince your peers on social media that you shouldn't have voted for this person or these religious beliefs. It's the people that's coming up behind you that's influential. Like they're impressionable. They emulate what we're doing. So it has to be like by default for me to try to make the right decisions so he'll know. But I understand that. I understand when people say, man, I've been big all my life. So I can tell you as somebody that was active, started working out, got fat, and then lost the weight, it's a totally different mindset. It is. It's painful. Because at that point, when you gain that weight and you're looking around and you still got old pairs of pants that are like a 30 in the waist, and now at that point I'm wearing like a 44, 46, and I'm mad at the store for not having different colors in the pants and shirts I was buying. They didn't have triple X or 4X shirts because I wanted to look. This was baggy. This is when we were wearing baggy clothes. I'm mad at the store. I'm not mad at myself. I'm not taking accountability, but I knew I was in better shape. It's painful. It sucks. And the pain is displaced because I wasn't blaming me yet. Until I did. Until my health came a calling. I guess for me, I was fortunate enough to gain that weight. And that sounds crazy, right? Because if I didn't get it in check, who knows where I would have been right now? Because I had lost complete control of it, but I had gained all that weight. And it got to the point to where I just stopped denying it. But at the same time, I had just given up. I did a post, and it was just about like things I used to tell myself, things I used to try to convince myself of. You'll get back to what you was. You've been there before. I used to tell myself this. You'll start Monday. January 1st coming up, man, once January happened, no more games, man. You got to make sure you get after it. I used to tell myself all this stuff, but it wasn't any movement. It was no motion. And I knew it'll eat you up. It will, because I once knew what I was capable of. Not only was I in shape before I gained the weight, I was an active teenager. So I knew this. It's in my memory, and no matter how much I tried to forget, it was there. I didn't have to be what I created myself into. I didn't have to, but I did. And instead of fixing it, I would blame everybody else. I think some people, honestly, and it sounds pretty graphic, wish they can cut your dome open and take their experiences and their mindset and put it into your brain so you can start seeing things the way that they see them and hearing things the way that they hear them so you will understand. No, I won't let you do that to me because that is a waste of time. Because I used to try to do that to people. I used to try to manipulate people and get people to feel sorry for me, to see things how they are for me. You don't understand why I'm going through this. In reality, I didn't know what they had going on in their life. Could have been much worse. But I was selfish, toxic. I used to manipulate people, and I wasn't willing to listen anyway. I need you to feel sorry for me. This is going on in my life, and this is why I'm coping like I'm coping. This is why I'm eating the foods that I'm eating. Because life is tough. And then I realized, you know what? Let me just change how I cope down the line. Life is tough either way. But at the same time, how am I coping? When somebody pisses me off or something doesn't go according to plan, do I try to drink and numb the pain? And then as soon as I sober up, the pain's going to be there. And I just keep drinking. And then my tolerance for alcohol is high. Now I got to spend more money on alcohol to support my habit. And the pain's still there. Or do I go work out? Go for a walk. Go for a run. That'll help me deal with the pain. It'll help my decision making, and I'll be in better shape for it. Choices. I used to blame, and I experienced that because people still blame. I catch it a lot. Like people will still blame you for not going through what they've been through to have the life that they have. When we're born, no matter what you're born into, you're pure of thought. You're just making noises and liquids. And yes, the household that you're born in and all that stuff does come into play. It does. But I think about that as well, man. Taking it back to COVID. I tell people, man, COVID sucked. It did. But it taught me a lot about myself. I was not leaving the whole COVID era empty-handed. So I went and got another master's degree. I went and started my doctorate. I really honed in on my fitness. I learned that I didn't need to work out in the commercial gym. Some people need to, and there's no issue with that. The camaraderie, the lighting, the assortment of equipment, some people need that. I learned that I could just work out at home, in my living room, with some bands. I got the best workouts in my living room with some bands, and man, it taught me, you know what? I ain't got to be relying on the gym when I ain't got to go. But then I would be going on my walks or I'll be running the stairs and I'll be like, man, could you imagine living in a household that is horrible for all the reasons that might come to mind when I say a horrible household, and you got to be in that all day, every day, no matter what's going on in that household. You know what, man? I got it good. I got it good when it comes to COVID, as long as I can still stay alive. But could you imagine that? Could you imagine some of these kids that's living in these real crazy households and they're just having to deal with that all day? That's why we used to leave the house and go to the mall and stuff, because we was poor. We had love in my family, but it ain't like we had stuff. And then how do you deal with stuff as adults now? You get distracted. You try to keep busy. We was getting our steps in at the mall. We was hooping. Same thing. And this is me, not me trying to be nonchalant or I don't care about people's struggles. There's a reason that I'm open about my struggles. I'm open about them because I'm no longer in that situation. I had to remove myself from that. But the longer that I remained in that mindset, making them excuses, I know we hate hearing that, so we'll say reasons. Having those reasons why I couldn't make the best decisions, I was stuck. And I think some people are just stuck, and we try to find ways to get unstuck quick. I told you I struggle with this, but I've been getting it, snapping my finger. We try to find ways to get unstuck quick. You can, you definitely can, but I knew I had to do those things I knew I was supposed to be doing because I did it before. That's why I say if you've never been in shape and you're trying to get in shape, it's a little different. You've never been there. When you've been there and when you start taking ownership, you're like, man, look what I did to me. Look what I did to me. I'm looking in the mirror. I did this. And that, you can go one or two ways after that. You can go deeper down into your depression, blaming yourself. And when you blame yourself for things like that, you blame yourself for everything that happens in life. You become a whole body, a version of a victim. Or you say, man, I got to change this. Because I know if I can change this, I definitely can change that. I can work on this. I can do this. That's why I said yesterday, like my health is a gateway. Because it was the worst thing that I had going. Didn't matter how I got there, which was the alcohol, which led to the bad eating and then the not working out and just all types of stuff. But I knew once I fixed me, I would be able to fix other things around me. And the good thing about the loop and me being old is I understand. People will say, man, don't let what people say get to you. I don't most days, but some of these folks had been telling me that I'm on something or I'm lucky and must be nice since 2000 when I wasn't even really in shape. 26 years of just because you touch a weight and you start to see some results. You got people that will tell you that, not thinking you got people out here that's just, they leaving us too soon based on taking that stuff. Right? I've been working out all these years. I've been showing my blood pressure. This is what I eat. These are the vitamins that I take. And people will ignore all that just to say, okay, well, I'm going to accuse this person of this. Or I'm going to tell them lucky and must be nice because I ain't willing to change. That makes me feel better for a little bit. I only assume that's how people feel because that's how I used to feel. I used to tell people like some slick stuff just to hopefully make myself feel better. And if I saw like on them that they would be irritated, I was a physical like troll. If I saw that it would bother them, I would keep doing it because I didn't have nothing else going on. I wasn't working on me, so I got plenty of time and energy to try to bring somebody down to my level. Man, that was my jam. Like, come on, man. I be wanting to like shake people that I know. Like, come on, man. Come on. Because on the other side of that is you. Is the version of you know you want to run into, you know you want to encounter this person. We know based off our tone, based off when that fitter version of somebody walk into a room and you looking at them, based on that what if factor. The what if factor, man, what if I would have stuck to this? And usually it's somebody that I would see, that I would it'd be somebody that I used to work out with back in the day before I had got fat. And I'm telling you, man, it was so bad. I'm like, man, I hope I don't run into this person again, and I hope they're not working out. Man, please let both of us have gotten fat so I can be around the person if I ever run into him again. And that happened sometime, man. When I had, when I had freaking, like, I was in shape, and there was a couple of cats I used to hang out with. They was in shape. We got our protein shaker bottles, man. We in San Diego, man, lifting our shirts up in the club. We doing that, and then I got fat. And then I would come home on leave, and I would see these cats. Man, what if I would have stuck with this, man? I would have been like them. And then I made the worst mistake ever and went out. We went to the club, and the same reaction we used to get from these chicks from being the fit dudes in San Diego, them two was. I was just a dude over there by the coats. I was going, hey, y'all need some more drinks? I had to become that version because this person that I changed myself into. So I said, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to put myself in that situation. Everything that I can obtain that's within reach, even though it might be difficult, even though there might be some weird percentage that somebody would tell you about if you haven't even tried it yet, I'm going to get it. And that's going to create me. That's going to be the person that walks into the room. And if that means people don't like me, that's 100% cool. Because I know the things that I'm doing will hopefully benefit me. I know my health will, but just because I got a doctorate, 10 degrees, and all these certifications, that don't always work out like that. But if there's a possibility that would help my situation a little bit, I'm going to do it. Because we know the stuff that we do that we shouldn't be doing don't help. We'll still do them though. We know we shouldn't do this stuff. We know. We are haunted by it, like daily. We'll see the horror stories about health and whatever. And somehow like heart disease is at the top of the list for the GOAT of deaths. But at the same time, it's like, it's to the side. You still got people that's arguing about the conspiracy theories of COVID. Heart disease is the GOAT. And some of us fall up under that umbrella of stuff that will have you on that list, and we don't want to change it because life is tough. I was born into this. Man, I ain't got no choice. This is how I cope. This is how I deal with pain. My friends do it. And if you anything like me, instead of trying to work on that, you would have the gall, the gall to tell somebody, because I've done it. Man, you getting too lean. Is that healthy? Right? I'm talking to you about a low body fat percentage while my blood pressure is high, and I don't even know what visceral fat is and how much that can adversely impact you altogether and what that correlates with, right? Like type 2 diabetes, strokes, heart attack. Visceral fat is the bad fat. So I don't know nothing about that. I know my blood pressure is high, but I don't want to see you lean, so I'm going to say something. People just be saying stuff now when we know things are universally better. So only way that I can kind of counter that and I keep it at social media is I got to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. Physically, like face to face, people ain't gonna really be saying nothing to you like that. Unless they crazy. You'll have people that just, I've had some situations, man, to where people just want to test you. But if you walk into a room and somebody knows that about you, somebody knows that, you know what, this guy, man, he gets after it. Most people that I've encountered, I can't talk about the 8 billion or 9, however many billion people are in this world. I can just talk about what I've encountered based on me being out there in the wild. Most people will respect it. And then once they start seeing the other stuff, this is all by design. People don't understand it because they're so busy being envious about things that we know we want. We will compare with people about what they have. And then when that don't work, we gonna compare and we gonna one up the bad stuff. Right? I remember I told somebody, yeah, I got a herniated disc, man. I gotta do too, man, but mine's is worse. What? But it is. It's by design. Because if the loudest I am are on these. But if I want people to listen to a message, when I'm talking to you, when I do these recruiting events, when I was at San Diego State, I gotta bring it. How can I bring it? How can I bring it? So I gotta make sure I'm on point. And not just on point in the fitness area. If I'm telling you I'm disciplined, I got to be disciplined in most things. This is a discipline. Believe it or not. Do you know how tough it is to build out a garage gym? Yeah, okay. I had the last condo, interest rates went down, and then the market went up when it came to houses. So I cashed out, had some money aside. When I sold that one, made some money on it. I knew in 2020, I wanted to have a garage gym if I ever had to move. So I had that in the pocket. And if I wasn't going to move, it was either going to be sneakers or a new truck. But this ain't for the gram or Facebook or TikTok because I'm not on there. This ain't for show. Everything in here is by design. Everything in here gets played. I made it this way. And I don't, like, people will say, why you do that? Why you get that? Because everything in here that I use, I was mimicking in the gym, in the commercial gym, in order to get the physique I want. Is it over? Is it a bit much? Yeah, it is. But it's mine. Because I know that I want to get up every day and I want to have the most convenient workout most days when I don't feel like doing it. So I want to make it extremely easy for myself. and I put this together. You got to measure stuff around. I ain't good when it comes to putting stuff together like that. Don't let the degrees fool you. But I got a handyman. Man, that dude, man, he fired. My education is a discipline because this is a unique area to have to pursue your education while you're in the military. It can be very overwhelming. It can be daunting as heck. So I want to be able to tell a student that they can, from the associates to the masters, that they can get this cert, that they can get the certificate. And here's the resource. Doesn't have to be a thing. But I want to be able to tell people this stuff. I don't want to be able to talk speaking vicariously from somebody I know. My buddy did this. And no, I want to talk to your buddy. But I want it to be that. When I was in leadership, yeah, I had stopped studying to make chief in the Navy. But I didn't want my guys going to nobody else outside of studying because I would put you on. I would get you the latest, greatest study material. I would link you up with the people that I know that was like instructing over at the SH rating school. But don't go to nobody else when they come to school, when it comes to like college. Don't go to nobody else when they come to stand and shit. I wanted to walk in and I wanted my guys to be able to come to me and say, hey, SH1, I'm trying to get right. If you're trying to study, I got you. It's just I'm gonna outsource that. But everything else, how I had to fix my finances, you struggling with alcohol, oh man, you trying to get in shape? My uniform was on point. I got you. And when you do that, when you say, man, I'm going to be disciplined, not only in my fitness and just things that I'm doing in everyday life, people might be intimidated by that. But you shouldn't be more intimidated by a person that's resourceful, right, than you are by just heart disease. Because heart disease is the GOAT. So, yeah, man, that's the message for today. I hope you enjoyed the loop. Because I've been there. I've been on every, part of that scale when it comes to just being lean, being fat, trying to be in shape while still drinking, which doesn't work. Didn't work for me. So I can tell you about my story. I can't tell you what you should do if I haven't done it. And I'm not about to listen to you telling me what I should do if you haven't done it. I think that's fair. People don't think that's fair nowadays because of what's on here. We just will say anything nowadays and have zero experience in it. And some people listen. Some people believe you can't get out here and change nothing at all because some stranger says something. So I show up in everything I do, and I have to because it allows me to be like, you know what? I'm doing it right. Because people will, man, especially in a professional setting, especially different jobs, will try to test you. They want to put their thumb on you because you doing too much. And if you got your own insecurities going on and you got somebody that's coming in there hot and heavy and you're in a position, you can you're going to try to check that. I've had it happen to me. And that's when I say, okay, well, how am I going to cope? Am I going to react the way that this person wants me to react? Lose everything that I've worked my behind off for? Start drinking again? Gain the weight? Life is tough and this is how I'm going to cope. Or you know what? I'm going to lock in more. They're really going to be pissed off then. I'm going to get in better shape. I be weird when it comes to stuff like that. I don't be thinking, man, you know what? For my birthday, I'm going to have the best time ever, which you should. Don't get me wrong. We just all find entertainment and recreational stuff different. It's different for us. But people be like, man, I'm about to turn 47, man. We gonna turn up. I don't know if people still say that. I don't even go out like that. When I say, man, every birthday, I'm about to be in the best shape of my life. That's what I say. I was telling my buddy, I said, man, I'm going to pop back on Facebook at 47 just to say, man, I'm lean still. I'm not. But I said that because those are the people that I hang out with. That's my gift to myself, to be in the best shape possible, setting aside all my injuries because I got a lot of them joints. I didn't have them joints when I was like 20, even like early 30s. I want to be in the best shape of my life. That is a gift to me. That is my midlife crisis joint. You know what I'm saying? A car you can buy. A home gym you can build. My body, though, the thing that I'm in, when I walk into a room and I want my message to be well received, I got to have that on point. Hence why I do these vlogs like this. Some people think it's showing off. No, it's a strategy. It is, because you got people, some people, they're not really doing what they said that they're doing. And they're very deceptive. They be like, yeah, you need to go out here and get them goals, y'all.